Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at the 6th release of Wave 1, or Season 1 as they're calling it, of Operation Monster Force from Fresh Monkey Fiction. This is the Sleepwalker Heavy Weapons Division. So the Sleepwalkers are the bad guy soldiers under the control of the Forgotten King. You've got a comic in here kind of describing what's going on with that. But the bottom line for me is these are really cool looking troops. They've got kind of a weird steampunky Frankenstein-y thing going on, and I like it. So let's get this guy opened up. I strongly recommend you go back and watch the rest of my Operation Monster Force reviews. I've been doing them for, this will be the second week now. We're having all the way through Halloween. We'll be reviewing Operation Monster Force and getting through this first season, as it were. I've been loving this line. Monsters plus fantasy military is absolutely my wheelhouse, so I've been anticipating this since, I think, 2 years ago, maybe. The pre-orders first went up, something like that. I've been very excited about this line, and so far it has delivered beyond my expectations. And this guy looks like he's not going to be any exception to the excellence of this line. So anyway, I've been reviewing these. This is the second week of reviewing them now. At the very least, I think you should go back and watch my review of Declan Van Helsing, the first figure in the line, because I really get into detail about plastic quality and articulation and everything else. Like, I'll hit on it with this guy a little bit, but that was the first figure of this new series, so I really put a little more time into getting into the fine details. Whereas with this one, it's just going to be like, oh, look, you know, this is what he comes with, here is things, whatever. You get what I'm saying. If you want all of the quality stuff, that's the review to go to. Oh my gosh, look at this little... See, this is the stuff I was more excited about. I am less interested in real-world military, so the Delta Red figures that are the good guy soldiers just weren't as... I mean, they're fantastic figures, but they're just not as compelling to me as these guys with their crazy stuff, which is, you know, sort of a contradiction, because when G.I. Joe Classified first started, I was, some of the stuff was a little too fantastical for me, but there's, you know, there's a line, and there's different toy lines can get away with different things. It's all about your personal, like, expectations and whatever else. So for Operation Monster Force, I am much more excited about these wacky, like, retro-futuristic soldiers than I am about just sort of real-world looking guys with vampire heads. And don't get me wrong, the vampire heads are great. Although we do need more of them. We need a vampire head pack. So right off the bat, this guy has a very creepy, intimidating look. Oh, his coat here is 2 separate pieces. So we're not going to have an issue with interfering with articulation. He's got that great ball-jointed waist, so you've got a lot of good movement there. That bottom piece has slits up the side, so you can get as much range as you want out of those legs. Nice snug holes on the shoulders, where the butterfly joints on those shoulders still have a good range, but you don't have, like, the plastic underneath poking out looking all ugly. Look at the... It's not cross bones, it's like cross scythes. That's great. Great detail. And this helmet, just spooky looking. The green of those eye holes. The studs on the top, super creepy for some reason. detail is fantastic. And this coat has almost a little bit of a weathered look. Like you can see the paint here. It's not quite like a zombie coat, but it definitely has a more aged look. Like I said, we've got a weird retro-futuristic type of thing, alternate history, whatever you want to call it, that is very much the antithesis of the fully modern Delta Red troops that I reviewed last week. Like the reinforcement up here with the epaulets, long gloves, paint. All the buttons are painted. This overlay is very soft plastic. It moves around nicely. Just all that detail on the pants. The reinforced panels at the top. That trim actually painted. And those tall boots that we've seen with Dracula and with the Forgotten King. But this is, again, everybody's personal standards are going to be a little different. I don't mind everybody, or not everybody, but some characters wearing the same tall boots. Because guess what? That's a thing. Like, there's a sort of a standard look. To me, it would be wasteful if we have 3 different characters who wear tall boots like this. And you're like, well, we need to make them look different. Why? And also the paint is going to make them look different too, because if you look, the painted sort of wear and dirt from the ankle down on these, very different from what we saw on Dracula and the Forgotten King. But yeah, within a toy line, there's no need like, oh, these need to look a little different so people don't realize we're reusing parts. No, they don't. That's just silly talk. All right, so the little comparison here next to a classified figure, because I know that's what a lot of people are here for. To me, these work together. Their profiles match aesthetically. They proportionally are the same. The joints, everything about them, these can absolutely work with classified. Scale-wise, they're not like a little too big or a little too small. Like, they're the same scale to my eye. So we've got an assortment of hands with this Sleepwalker. All gloved. You've got 2 gesturing hands, 2 trigger finger hands, and 2 fists for punching. Oh my gosh, is there actually paint? There's paint on these. That's really shocking. Just right around the knuckle dusters there, or whatever those are called. That's wild. So obviously we are going to want a trigger. Oh, the hand swap out. All of these so far, the hand swap out. Just, the execution couldn't be better. They stay in nice and snug. They swap out easily. Some of the best hand swaps on the market, honestly. And then you've got the up and down joint on the trigger finger hands. The rest of them are the lateral. Got a couple of alternate heads because these are, of course, troop builders. A different look on this one. Got the fin on the top. Just looks great. And then this one, which looks kind of familiar. Oh, look at those cool ports in the back with the green, that creepy green light. that's in the eyes of the other ones. All that wear sculpted and painted on. But this is definitely reminiscent of some of the Action Force designs, by which I mean the European G.I. Joe line. Gosh, this one's great, but I know I'm going to be using this on a different figure, so I'm going to leave this Heavy Gunner guy with what I believe to be the Heavy Gunner portrait. And then finally, the Heavy Gun. Well, I'll just leave it zoomed into 4 right now for all that detail. I love this bright green, like spectral energy look. Look at that wood grain. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a unique, phenomenal weapon. It does have ports for blast effects, although we have no... Oh, wait. Oh, wow. This happens sometimes where I'm like so caught up with the stuff that came in the tray that I totally forget there's other stuff as well, because these come with tons of accessories. These figures are $36.99 each, but in my opinion, they are worth every penny. They earn my $37. Oh, look at all these hoses. If you've been around Needless Things for any amount of time, you know I'm a huge fan of hoses and action figures. Those ports. Here are the blast effects of the aforementioned spectral energy. Oh my gosh, look at this. We got some sort of lightning-y effects. Oh, this is killer. Because these are so unique, because I don't normally, like I've got a few things on my shelf posed with blast effects, but it's not something I typically do. But I gotta tell you, with ones this unique, all right, so this one is just a bit bent. I'm just gonna push it up, and there you go, it's fine. With ones this unique and weird looking with this green color, I think I'm going to have to put this guy on the shelf using these blast effects. These are great. I don't know what exactly this lightning business is here. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. That maybe that goes somewhere else. Maybe that is coming out of the, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out as we go through this. Okay, so we've got a backpack. Look at the detail on this thing. Man, this is nuts. What are all these little parts? Crazy. Okay, let's put this off to the side. Oh, and we've also got a hand blaster. Maybe I like this one for the electrical. But I'm probably not going to be giving him both of these weapons. That detail's unbelievable. There was a prop replica company. It might have been Weta making them. But they were like Dr. Snodberg's weapons of wacky I don't know I can't remember what it was called at all. But they produced like life-size props of this kind of thing, and they were amazing. And these so far look like they kind of come from that same ideology. So we've got 2 shorter hoses. One really long hose. 2 medium hoses. And then I think these 2 are... Oh, no, these... Okay, so we've got 2 really long hoses, 2 medium hoses, 2 short hoses, which is great because depending on... And I would imagine you choose which ones of these you want to use, because depending on how you're posing the figure, you probably need, if you have experience with action figures, when hoses are involved, sometimes they're just not the right length for the pose you want. Like if you're just standing still, sometimes the long hose is just sticking up all over the place. Sometimes if you want a more dynamic pose, the short hoses don't get the job done. So we've got what I believe to be a variety of hoses here, so you can pick what you want, what you need. What is all of this extra business? So that's not super helpful. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. You can customize his mask? So all of these little parts are to make what? Whoa. Okay, sorry, I just got to gather everything here. All of these parts are for customization. Okay, that came out of his mask. I don't want to lose track of where that was. So the ports on his mask, and I'm guessing here, well, all of the ports that the hoses are going to fit in. Oh my gosh, you can build little like pipe systems or whatever and really customize this figure however you want. Make sure you're following Needless Things channel on Instagram. I'll put up some different builds that I come up with. This is wacky. Okay, so this one I'm going to put over here. These are to accommodate, like, let's say I want to stick this right here and put that. I mean, this isn't going to look good, but yeah, that's too long. There's got to be one of these that can plug into his face, though. Oh, or you can do that. Okay, let's do this. Let's pop this out and put these two pieces here, right? So now those two pieces can either go back or they can hang down. I'm going to have them hanging down just for now, just for fun. And this backpack can go on him however you want. Like there's no top or bottom. So what if, well, I say that. I don't know. Might be a little bit of a challenge to get his backpack through his overlay into the peg hole because you can see they're kind of not lined up right now. There we go. Okay, so I mean that can be off center like that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now just because we're playing around and figuring things out and I don't need this video to last 40 minutes. So I'm going to take the medium hoses and hopefully just by what I'm doing here you get the idea of like, oh my gosh, the amount of stuff you can do with these. And I will say we ran into this with the Forgotten King where the ports aren't quite as big as I'd like them to be. Although they are staying in there. So this is just what I'm doing now just for fun to show how much variety is possible with these. Okay, that one plugged in a lot better. There we go. So look, check that out. But you could turn this, have this on top, have the short hoses going over his shoulders. Like, you see what I'm saying? Where the customization here is bonkers. And then up here on the top, like, maybe we just put this. Oh my gosh. All right, wait. Here, I'm just doing wacky stuff now, just to demonstrate the possibilities of this figure. Again, I'm not saying this is like the finished product of what it's going to look like, but just to show you like how wild your mind can go with this stuff. Like, whatever that is, now that's on there. Why not? And then we'll stick this sticking out of here. Because again, why not? I'm not plugging that all the way in. The ports on the backpack are a little snug. They're a little smaller than I'd like them to be. And then we'll take the super long hose, just because. Stick it in there. I realize his trigger finger is not in the right place here, but right now I don't care. I'm just trying to do wacky stuff. Plug that into there. And so that is a completely different look from what anybody else might come up with in their first 10 minutes of playing around with this figure. This is crazy. Look, you can put the hose in there. You can put the hose in there. You can have a completely redundant hose in the top here for no reason whatsoever. You could put a couple of these little pieces up here in the top. Like, all of those ports for the hoses are compatible with all these little doodads. Oh my gosh, this is wild. Oh, and he's also got a little bicep insignia deal that I guess if you want to make this your commander, you can do that. I guess we'll put it on just to make sure it fits nicely. But there's no doubt in my mind it will. Yeah, slides right into place. Nice and snug. Works. Holy cow, you guys. Did I even look at everything? Yes, that is everything. I had no idea there was going to be so much to this guy. Because as I've said many, many times, I don't look too closely at stuff I know I want to buy. Because I want this that we just experienced here. I want this, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. Look what you can do with this. I don't want to sit there. I don't like this. I don't want to sit there on the internet looking at pictures of the thing. I want to get it in hand, play with it, touch it, move stuff around. That's what I'm here for. So we got 2 more of these this week. I'm leaving him as is. We're going to see how different we can make all 3 of the figures look, because they have the same base but different specialties. So we'll see what we got going on here. This is incredible. I said it about Declan Van Helsing, but I got to say, this guy, another figure of the year candidate. This is the level of customization here, the fun that you can have with this figure is just incredible. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back tomorrow and on Halloween Day. And until next time, buy what you like and do what you want with it.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.